Well, Jane is very clever, witty, funny, loving lady. I love her to bits. She's my life, my world, my best friend. And want to be with her for the rest of my life.
George and I met 2 years ago. We went to the pictures, we went for a carvery and we just hit it off from that day. He's got some funny little quirks, he's got a dry sense of humour. His only downfall is he supports Rangers. So you can imagine there's some argument in our house between Rangers and Liverpool. But as I said, he's got a heart of gold, he'll help anyone. But he's not only got Jade as niece, but he's adopted, he's got my 3 kids he's had to take on and my grandson. And he's got son to Jake as well. And he's an absolute angel.
And we hit it off straight away, talking for ages. We met up, and then one thing led to another, and it's got us here. Found my best friends, someone I've been looking for all my life. And as far as I know, she feels the same way about me. So, you know, this is the natural thing. We've lived together now for nearly 2 years, and this is now the rest of our life starting from today. It's man and wife. And this is the first time second time we've both been married, but the first time we both had our parents here at our weddings. And it's been a very special day with all our family and friends. We're looking for a brilliant night.
George, God, he's one of the most generous. He's Scots and you wouldn't believe it because he's so generous, he'll help anyone. He's just my world. Love him to bits.
Okay.
And today's our 2-year anniversary and today we get married. So,
Great.
what else was that? I could go on all night, but I'm not going to.
Jane, you don't be really proud. You're so beautiful. I'll treasure you for the rest of my life.
From this moment, life has begun. From this moment, you are the one. Right beside you is where I belong. From this moment on, from this moment, I have been blessed. I live only for your happiness and for your love. I'd give my last breath. From this moment on, I give my hand to you with all my heart. I can't wait to live my life with you. I can't wait to start. You and I will never be apart. My dreams came true. Because
Well, for that reason, I'd just like you both to give me your full names and surnames. So, George, your full name.
Is George Fraser Alexander.
And Jane.
Jayne Leslie Campbell.
Classy. Hasn't he got a lovely accent?
Scottish Camps.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this building in which we are now met today has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriage. And as you have all just heard, you are here today to witness the joining in matrimony of George Fraser Alexander and Joyce Leslie Campbell. Jane? Who's Joyce?
Joyce is just coming.
Oh no, I should have gone to Specsavers.
She's too old for it.
It's all that writing. So we are sure to marry the right people. Well, if any person present knows of any lawful impediment to the marriage of Jane and George, then they must declare it now. Lovely. Nobody said anything. Well, you know, to celebrate this very special day today, Jane and George have chosen to light candles to symbolise their love and their affection for each other. And I'd like to invite two special people to do this on their behalf. So if we could have Scott, please, and Andrea. Ooh, can you manage around there, Scott? I just want you to stand on that side, and Andrea, over here. Now, the two candles that are on the table here that they're going to light, they actually represent your separate lives and the lives of your two families. And I'd like you both, if you would, to light the individual candles. Just push. That's it. The new candles, make sure they're well lit. Pop the lights down. Wait there a moment. Because today, you both come into this marriage as distinct individuals. And that's signified by the lighting of your individual candles. And during the course of your ceremony, you're not only pledging your love for each other, you're also making a public commitment of unity. And as you make your marriage vows, you'll be embarking upon a new life together. And I'd like to say thank you very much to you both for being a part of our ceremony today. Thank you, Andrea and Scott. And we'll now follow with the legal and contracting words of the marriage ceremony, and of course the giving and receiving of the wedding rings. So, what does marriage mean in today's world? Because we live in a world where the old-fashioned social pressures to conform have all but gone. So, why get married at all? Perhaps when two people decide that this is something they actually want to do, for themselves, for their families, and for its own sake. That the meaning of marriage has shifted to the same extent as families have moved on. And rid of any outside pressures, the vows, the intentions that you make to each other today are totally pure and unadulterated. And you really cannot have a better guarantee than this. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to commence the formal marriage ceremony, where you can, would you please stand? Let me put that little down. Well, marriage requires closeness and distance. Closeness of a couple growing together, enough distance to allow each partner to be an individual. And in a marriage, a good partner will be loving and caring, but above all else, a best friend. And of course, it's in this spirit that you're both here today, because in each other you found happiness, fulfilment, and love. And now wish to live with the commitment and understanding that marriage represents. And so, George and Jane, not Joyce, Jane. Before you are joined in matrimony, I have to remind you of the solemn and binding character of the vows you're about to make. Because marriage in this country means the union of two persons voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. But much more than that, marriage is intended to provide love and comfort, which each should offer in times of joy or sorrow. It's a deep and lasting commitment and should never be entered into lightly. Well, I'm now going to ask you both to make the first of the two legal declarations. Now, this is where you're going to state that you are free to marry each other. Now, traditionally, we always start with our bridegroom. So are you ready,
Okay,
George?
yes.
Good. And it's just a few words for you both to say in turn after me. Are you ready?
Yes.
I do solemnly declare
I do solemnly declare
that I know not
that I know not
of any lawful impediment
of any lawful impediment
why I, George Fraser Alexander,
why I, George Fraser Alexander,
may not be joined in matrimony
may not be joined in matrimony
to Jane Leslie Campbell.
to Jayne Leslie Campbell.
That's great. Jane, same words now, stating you're free to marry George. I do solemnly declare
I do solemnly declare
that I know not
that I know not
of any lawful impediment
of any lawful impediment
why I, Jane Leslie Campbell,
why I, Jane Leslie Campbell,
may not be joined in matrimony
may not be joined in matrimony
to George Fraser Alexander.
to George Fraser Alexander.
That's great. Is he making you laugh there?
Okay.
Perhaps I'd better swap her for George. Well, having declared that you're legally free to marry each other, the solemn moment has now arrived for you both to contract your marriage before all your family and your friends. And Vanessa, I'd just like you to turn a little to each other. That's it. Because in a moment or two, you're going to say those very important words to each other when you take each other to be husband and wife. And when two people pledge to love and care for each other in marriage, they create a spirit unique to themselves. And this binds them closer than any written or spoken words. Because marriage is a promise, a potential, made in the hearts of two people who love, which takes a lifetime to fulfill. Now, as I said, you're going to say those important words, taking each other to be husband and wife. So, George, if you would say these words to Jane. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, George Fraser Alexander, do take thee, Jane Leslie Campbell, to be my lawful wedded wife. That's great. And Jane, same words now, taking George as your husband. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Jane Leslie Campbell, do take thee, George Fraser Alexander, to be my lawful wedded husband. And I think you ought to seal that commitment you've just made to each other with a kiss, and we'll give them a round of applause. Come on. Two individual candles have been lit by Scott and Andrea. And the central candle over there is actually candle of marriage. Its fire is magical because it represents the light of two people in love. It's a candle of commitment because it takes two people working together to keep it aflame. It's also a candle of unity because both must come together, giving a spark of themselves to create the new light. And I'm going to ask you to step over together to the table to light this central candle. I'm going to let George take charge here. Together. Push with it. Oh, is it lit? Yes, I can see it in the light there. That's brilliant. Come back there, ready? And may the brightness of its flame shine throughout your lives. May it give you courage and reassurance in the darkness, and strength and joy in your bodies, minds and souls. And these three candles will remain lit for the rest of your ceremony. One for each of you, one for your marriage together. And they're symbols of your commitment and to a lasting and loving relationship. So, what is love? Well, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just realised I've left you all standing. I do apologise. Would you like to be seated? Please. Are you going to take a bit tired there? I'll be back. Got to do it properly, haven't we? Looks lovely. We never see people's dresses.
No, you don't until going out.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. Sorry to leave you standing there. So, what is love? Well, you know, sooner or later we begin to realise that love is much more than just verses on Valentine's and romance in the movies. We begin to know it's here and now, real and true. The most important thing in our lives. For it's the creator of our favourite memories and the foundation of our fondest dreams. It's a promise that's always kept. A fortune that can never be spent, although I bet Jane will have a very good try.
We do it together.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. By the looks of things you already have. There.
He spends it.
Brilliant. Couldn't have it better, could you? And this radiance that never fades, this mysterious and magical joy, is the greatest treasure of all, and one known only to those who love. Well, you know, weddings have very many special parts in them, don't they? And we come now to the giving and receiving of the wedding rings. Now, as you all know, this is the traditional way of sealing the vows that Jane and George have just made to each other. And we have two very important people I'd like to invite up at this very moment. So could we have Philip and Jane? Come on. I can come over here, Jane. Come on.
Jake's that side.
Thank you. That's it. Actually,
That's for mine.
that's yours.
Right, swap sides. Jake, you come this side. Like peekaboo this side.
Ooh, look at that.
Now peekaboo, go. Peekaboo. Alright. Peekaboo.
Who's hiding under there?
Nobody.
I hope. Not
Just me.
It's all right, leave him. It doesn't matter if he wanders off. If he does, Philip to look after them then. Right. Well, you know, rings are objects of adornment, and I know in your life, especially seeing your lovely jewellery, you probably have many of these, but you will have amongst them always the ones that are most precious to you. So when you're ready, George, if you would like to take Jane's ring, then you're just going to pop it on the third finger of her left hand. Right, now just hold the ring in place there, because the words you're going to say now are the ones you've chosen to say just to each other. I'd like to say them after me.
Okay.
I promise to give you my love and friendship,
I promise to give you my love and friendship,
to be there for you when you need me most,
to be there for you when you need me most,
to laugh with you and to cry with you,
to laugh with you and to cry with you,
to confide in you and to trust you,
to confide in you and to trust you,
to comfort and support you.
to comfort and support you.
All that I have I share with you.
All I have is here with you.
I promise to respect you and be faithful always.
I promise to respect you and be faithful always.
These promises I make for the rest of my life.
These promises I make for the rest of my life.
That's lovely, and thank you very much. When you're ready, Jane, if you'd like to take George's ring, it's at the third cushion. Don't worry about it. That's what happens with little ones. Philip's doing a great job there, aren't you, Philip? Hey. And again, just holding the ring in place, the same words, and this time, Jane, they're just from you to George. I promise to give you my love and friendship,
I promise to give you my love and friendship,
to be there for you when you need me most,
to be there for you when you need me most,
to laugh with you and to cry with you,
to laugh with you and to cry with you,
to confide in you and to trust you,
to confide in you and to trust you,
to comfort and support you.
to comfort and support you.
All that I have, I share with you.
All that I have, I share with you.
I promise to respect you and be faithful always.
I promise to respect you and be faithful always.
These promises I make for the rest of my life.
These promises I make for the rest of my life.
Lovely. And of course, a wedding ring is an unbroken circle, isn't it? And it symbolises unending and everlasting love. And I was just going to say, Philip, why don't you come here and have a photo taken?
And
That's
Jane.
it.
Yeah.
That, but this time, that's it. You look over there.
Okay, Frozy.
Quick, come on. Stand here.
Here we go. Look at that man.
Can you see her?
That's your man there.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
No, he doesn't want to. He wants his mum. Oh, that's lovely. Well, let's give him a big round of applause because he's done a great job. Thank you. So a big thank you to our Lord of the Rings, Philip. Thank you very much. Well, I was just saying that the wedding ring is an unbroken circle. It symbolises the vows that you've just made to each other with your contracting words, but also those special words you chose to say just to each other as you exchanged your rings together. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment it's very quiet, isn't it? It's not going to be when you start partying, I'm sure. And you're going to have a great time. But just for a few moments, whilst we're here and it's very quiet, I'd like you only to be thinking of Jane and of George. Because from today, they've got a new beginning. With all its hopes and love, with all its dreams, may these all come true. With your faith in each other, be devoted to each other. May the warmth of your love and the kindness of your home allow you to be charitable to others. And as the years go by, may you learn how great is the joy that comes from sharing and how deep the love that grows from giving. And you know, finally, you've both made all the declarations that are required by law. You've entered into a solemn and binding contract with each other, again in the presence of all your family and friends. And I have the greatest of pleasure in announcing you as husband and wife together. Congratulations.
How long will I love you? As long as stars are above you, and longer if I can. How long will I need you? As long as the seasons need to follow their plan. How long will I be with you? As long as the sea is bound to wash upon the sand. How long will I want you? As long as you want me to, and longer by far. How long will I hold you? As long as your father told you. As long as you can. How long will I give to you? As long as I live through you. However long you say. How long will I love you? As long as stars are above you, and longer if I may. How long will I love you? As long as stars are above you.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a bit of order please, thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all so much for turning up at this venue for George and Jane's wedding day. There's people come from Farnham, wherever. A long way to come for the wedding, but I'd like to take this opportunity again to thank you all for making this day a very special So, right, I will do. So, I would like to hand you over to the best man now.
No, your dad's going to do it.
Oh, to George's father, who is now going to do the rest of the presentations and whatever you have to do. Best of luck, John.
Well done, John.
Well, we can start tonight, we're not dressing properly of my son here. But the reason was, my wife was hugging the mirror. And they said like this, "Oh John, you think I could take some weight off my tummy?" "Yes, Margaret." "John, do you think I could take some weight off my thighs?" "Yes, Margaret." "You take some weight off my backside?" "Yes, Margaret." "And you not give me a compliment at all?" "Yes, there's fucking wrong with that side." Jayne said to keep it short. I'll keep it a little longer because I don't get to talk in the house very much.
Oh, you like? When I read in Scotland recently, you probably know, and everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon. And one lady that jumped on it was a famous Katie Price. And she said, if I had a vote, I'd vote for all together. How many fucking marriages she had? And if she said no, it'd be the first time in my life she ever said that. She's known in the golfing circles as a British Open. All right, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Now, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming today. I'd like to thank the Nagaria. Stating the bloody obvious. Well, I'd like to thank Ted for coming to rest me. I'm going to put him on the spot because I want him to give a few words. For looking so beautiful today, making me so happy. This guy's known me for longer than anyone else in Liverpool. How many years ago, George?
16.
30. Longer than that, 37, 38 years.
Yeah.
I'm with this lad. For the first 20 years I just said yeah and no because I couldn't understand the word he said. I've been saying yeah and I really should have been saying no. Anyway, absolutely over the moon. I haven't seen him for 2 years. Spoke to Jayne on the phone for the first time last week. And just by talking to her on the phone, I came off the phone and I said to Jackie, I'm going to get on with that girl. Just by talking to her on the phone, I knew what type of person he was. Over the moon that he's finally found someone that makes him happy. And the same for her as well. I think you make a lovely couple, and we'd all like to have a toast for I had the room. Jayne and George, all the best, mate. Love you, lad. Take care.
Thank you.
And thanks for putting me on the spot, you rat. Now, I'd just like everyone to get ready to enjoy a great night, loads of dancing, loads of drinking, and loads of laughter. Okay, enjoy yourselves, people. Thank you.
That's it. I'm not saying to say it, but thanks to everybody for coming. You have really all made my day. My kids look beautiful. Auntie Linda and Brian Carey, the cake's gorgeous. Everybody, it's just excellent. Just let's enjoy the night.
You look beautiful too.
Thank you, Jayne. Give me that 50 quid after. Alright, thanks. Now, seriously, let's have a good night tonight. George, I love you to bits. Let's have a ball tonight. Hey, Jayne, I'll do anything for bag sweets. Leave some for the kids. And the kids. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Cheers. Right, we need to clear this for DJ. DJ's coming now. There is gifts, but we wanted to give them all out later on tonight when our other guests arrive. Is that okay? No, got a big mouth. Right, just wait now, because the DJ's on his way now. You wanted to go back? Oh, me and Brenda.
Come on down. This is for you.
Because you broke your glitter glass pissed, I made you another one.
Right? Right. Under all that is Joyce. I didn't marry her, I married Jayne. Now we've got Margaret, my mum. And here's some flowers.
Some flowers for you.
And here's a little tipple with a
Let's remember the day.
Here's a memento of the day. And now we get Jayne's dad up. Come on, John. Big round of applause for John. Now, this is a bottle of whiskey, not just any bottle. This is from the closest distillery to our house in Scotland. And this is a local distillery that not even me dad's it's a 12-year-old malt, and not even me dad has tasted it.
I've not even put any water in that.
You better not, you'll ruin it. I haven't had my phone on. No. And now to get John, another John, i.e. Clutch, my dad up. For someone who's drunk whiskey all his life, he's never drunk this. From his closest distillery to his house, he's drunk every other distillery dry. Oh, hang on. Here he goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, do now I should begin the night. And that was welcome Jayne to her family. The judges brought some snanners to my house, but a minute brought Jayne.
Yeah, that's right.
Margaret and I fell in love with her. Beautiful person, beautiful personality. Always up for a joke. And then she said to me, John, Judge and I have purchased a bit of land, would like you to see it. And also a castle. Now I knew before we left the house that Jayne was a great crossword buff. She loves the crosswords. So we drove 2 hour drive through beautiful countryside in Scotland. We arrived where Jane and George had made this purchase. I says, where's the land you bought? There is John. I says, Jane, that's like your crossword. 6 down and fucking 3 across. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for a wonderful night. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's only jealous because he's a president. This is my lady and I'm a lord.
And your father's a president.
That's one down from a lord. Now we've got Uncle Brian. She's found his drink. Come on, Brian.
Come on, Uncle Brian.
No, what she says is he likes whining. Okay, now that's a thank you to everyone. So now let's just party, enjoy yourselves. All the gifts have been given out. And it's time to have a good time.
Someone stepped on the lead.
I had a dream the other night about how we only get one life. Woke me up right after 2, stayed awake and stared at you so I wouldn't lose my mind. And I had the week that came from hell, and yes, I know that you can tell. You're like the net under the ledge. When I go flying off the edge, you go flying off as well. And if we're only here once, I wanna live with you. Got something I need in this world full of people. There's one love in me, and if we're only here once, I wanna live with you. You've got something I need in this world full of people. There's one love in me, and if we're only here once, I wanna live with you. Last night I think I drank too much. Call it a temporary crush. With broken words I tried to say, honey, don't you be afraid. If we've got nothing, we've got us. And if we're only here once, I wanna live with you. Got something I need in this world full of people. There's one love in me, and if we're only here once, I wanna live with you. I know that we're not the same, but I'm so damn glad that we made it to this time now. You've got something I need in this world full of people. There's one love in me, and if we're only here once, I wanna live with you, yeah. You've got something I need in this world full of people. There's one love in me, and if we're only here once, I wanna live with you. You've got something I need in this world full when your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet. Will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day, and I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are. When my hair's all but gone and my memory fades, and the crowds don't remember my name, when my hands don't play the strings the same way, I know you will still love me the same. 'Cause honey, your soul could never grow old, it's evergreen. And baby, your smile's forever in my mind and memory. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways, and maybe it's all part of a plan. Well, I'll just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand. But baby, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. So baby, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Oh darling, place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. Or maybe we found love right where we are. And we found love right where we are.
I finally found someone that knocks me off my feet. I finally found the one that makes me feel complete. It started over coffee. We started out as friends. It's funny how from simple things the best things begin. This time is different. It's all because of you. It's better than it's ever been, 'cause we can talk it through. My favorite line was, can I call you sometime? It's all you had to say to take my breath away. This is it. Oh, I finally found someone to share my life. I finally found the one to be with every night. 'Cause whatever I do, it's just got to be you. My life has just begun. I finally found someone. I finally found someone. Did I keep you waiting? I apologize. Maybe that's fine. I will wait forever just to know you were mine. You know I love your hair. Sure it looks right. I love what you wear. Isn't it too tight? But you're exceptional. I can't wait for the rest of my life. This is it. Oh, I finally found someone to share my life. I finally found the one to be with every night. 'Cause whatever I do, it's just got to be you. Oh, yeah. My life has just begun. I found